open to a 2016 run after sounding, quote, unimpressed with the emerging GOP field. Dana, are those binders full of women coming back for round 3?
I don't know. Do you think that maybe they could talk Bob Dole into coming back and doing this instead?
I don't know, Al. Maybe the Greek homos are coming back, or that the mayor you called the N-word and a whore, or maybe it's those Jews from Crown Heights that are coming back, or do I need to go on? Maybe the white interloper, as you so inappropriately named him, who had his store burnt down and died. Maybe he's coming back, Al. Maybe Tawana Brawley's coming back, Al. Joining us now is Jonathan Tobin, columnist and senior online editor of Commentary Magazine. Hello, Jonathan. Pardon me for my my outburst. I apologize.
That's okay, Steve. He provokes that in all of us.
All right. Well, you've written several great pieces at commentarymagazine.com. Let's start with the Romney issue. Every few weeks we hear, oh, it looks like he's going to run. Oh, he's interested. Oh, he's talking to people. Oh, is he going to run?
Well, obviously, you and I don't know the answer to that question. Only Mitt and Ann and his sons probably can give a better answer. But to be fair, I've been knocking down these rumors all year because I took, if you saw the documentary Mitt about him and his family and what they went through, and at the end of that, if anybody who watched that would not believe for a second that they would put themselves through it again. But in recent weeks, we've been hearing some rumblings that Romney is not that impressed with the rest of the Republican field. Specifically, he's not that impressed with Jeb Bush, who is making noises today about running, and probably isn't that impressed with Chris Christie either. And that's sort of the primary for the big donors, the so-called moderate, establishment types in there. And from his point of view, if he's the one who's going to save the party and to save the party from the Tea Party and to win the next election, maybe he'll do it. Once those politicians, Mitt Romney's a very good man. And I think many Republicans, even conservatives who thought ill of him during the primaries, thought a lot better of him after his tough fight against Obama and after so much that he said turned out to be true. So there's a lot of sympathy for Mitt Romney.
And
but
by the way,
that said,
I get a
he's
kick.
still the guy who lost the last election.
Right, but I get a kick now that I think of it, of the crew there, Dana Milbank and Al Sharpton talking about, oh, maybe they'll bring back Bob Dole. Well, Hillary Clinton is kind of a retread also.
Yeah, they're both retreads. The Bush name is a retread too, so you can't rule it out automatically. My point, however, is that Mitt would certainly have an easier time than I think Christie or Bush in trying to win over the base of the Republican Party, even though, he wasn't beloved of them last time. He's sort of earned some stripes from them because of his hard fight against Obama. But still, the people that he would be up against this time, as opposed to 2012, would be much tougher with a much stronger, slicker. Somebody like Ted Cruz is going to be a lot tougher to beat than Rick Santorum. Rand Paul, not that I'm a big fan of Rand Paul would be a lot tougher to beat than his father, Ron.
Than his father.
So it wouldn't be any cakewalk for Mitt Romney.
Not to mention a bunch of impressive governors as well.
People like Scott Walker, John Kasich, run the list. This is a good, deep field. We don't know how any of them are going to play on the national stage. It's true. But it's not like Mitt Romney was such a great candidate. To be honest, and I say this liking and respecting him, he is not
I agree with you. Look, he blew it in that debate in Benghazi, and he wasn't forceful enough in that debate in response to Candy Crowley. He had ample opportunity in many instances. He didn't get the conservative base out. That's why he lost. Let me move on to another piece that you wrote about human rights hypocrisy and how that doesn't fly. And what they're talking about is the report released by Dianne Feinstein and how it's not who we are, and we can't be like the terrorists, and now we've lost our high ground, etc. Look what the Taliban did today. By the way, the same Taliban, because to me they're all the same. Didn't Obama release 5 Taliban leaders to get Bergdahl out? I think we're forgetting about that. And I don't know how many of them went to, are involved in this Pakistan Taliban, but nonetheless, They just chopped the heads off of, I don't know how many of the 120 some odd kids that they killed today. That's who they are. If we could prevent that from happening to our kids by sticking one of those thugs' heads underwater, that doesn't make us like them.
No, you see, this human rights hypocrisy charge is just a lot of bull. And it's a lot of bull. You know, you can think whatever you want about the interrogation techniques used by the CIA on Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and some of these other al-Qaeda people. But the fact is, the torturers, the real torturers, the human rights violators like China, North Korea, and Iran, who are calling Americans hypocrites because the CIA tried to defend us against terrorists, are just, you know, it's just a big lie. And all too many American liberals and people in our profession in the media are willing to buy into this myth because they don't want to defend America. They don't understand that there is a clear moral difference between defending democracy and trying to subvert it.
Absolutely. Jonathan, everyone go to commentarymagazine.com and read more of Jonathan Tobin's great work. We'll speak to you soon, sir. Thank you very much.
Happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas to all of our viewers.
Same to you, and appreciate that. All right, folks. So when we come back, we're going to talk to retired Navy SEAL Carl Higbie. But first, this hour's American Moment. Let's watch.
In the early morning hours of May 2nd, 2011, the Central Intelligence Agency launched Operation Neptune Spear and set into motion a mission to bring one of the world's most notorious terrorists to justice. All indications were that Osama bin Laden was asleep as the U.S. Naval Special Warfare Development Group, known as SEAL Team 6, approached his highly secured three-story Pakistani-based compound. From entry to exit took approximately 45 minutes, with the bulk of time being used to gather up a plethora of al-Qaeda intelligence materials. When located in his living quarters on the third floor of his compound, the head of the Islamist group al-Qaeda was found using his young wife as a shield. The Obama administration reported the 54-year-old terrorist was given a traditional Islamic burial at sea. 9 years, 7 months, and 21 days following his infamous attack on New York's Twin Towers, killing thousands of innocent civilians, its mastermind, Osama bin Laden, was dead. You're watching An American Moment on Newsmax TV.